So hello guys, as we all know that science is very popular and quantum mechanics as a branch of science, it is also very popular becoming nowadays. And by understanding and by seeing all these things, we definitely might not able to understand full clearly or how we can define or how we can define a particle or how we can define a wave. It's a very difficult task because we can see we need to understand first what is meant by quantum mechanics. So quantum mechanics is a study of very small particles and minute particles, about small atoms and their studies, their properties, their behavior in different fields like electromagnetic field, like these many kinds of waves. And this is the study of quantum mechanics. First we didn't have much technologies for finding a particle that is in quantum mechanics. In 18th centuries, they are finding many ways and many methods to find what is meant by light, and by using prism, they find prism spectral lines, the different splitting different colors from white light. So from that they have come to a conclusion. It is a mixture of colors. Later on, they want to or more deeper they want to study. So that is why quantum mechanics comes into play. That for all that it begins here. For studying light, we can able to study the innermost and the major composition of light from white light, so that we can study at most quantum levels at small particles. We can able to study all materials. We can apply to all from studying only a single light particles. It's very easy to compare those things and we can able to relate them. So at first they are started with studying the light in quantum levels. So before that discussing, at that time only Newton has proposed that light is made up of corpuscles and it is made up of particles. He passed a statement also. Later on we came to know that it was waves, and further based on that we nowadays made an experiment based on light. So we will discuss in that. So thereafter many scientists has played a many crucial role in finding the wave nature or particle nature of light. Then came the most famous theory, that most experiment, the double slit experiment. It is conducted to find the light is a particle nature or it is a wave nature of. And this experiment is also considered as the most mysterious experiment. Why? Because I will explain now. See in that footage that when tennis ball is correctly passed between one slit hole, it is correctly attacking at a single line. When it is passed a double slit, it is also attacking at double. It is producing one line when one hole is present in that racket, and it is producing two holes when light is passed between two holes between that board, and it is producing two lines on that screen when light is passed between those two lines. Okay, up to here it is casual. It is normal that when light is passed between those two, definitely it will form two. Those things we all know. But here comes the real thing. When light is passed between those double slit, it is producing a multiple pattern of like this, as shown in this video. But unfortunately scientists got into confusion that why it is producing a multiple pattern like this. These kinds of patterns will be produced only when water is or waves are produced in water or in waves, not in particles. We will see some of footages also based on that. So up to now we have seen single and double slit in tennis balls. Now we will see single and double in water, like with waves. In water with produced waves, we all know that. So when a single wave is passed, it produces a single line on that. When double wave is passed, as shown in this video, it is producing a pattern like this, and it will definitely produce a pattern or a sequence of lines on that, fringes like that in water with double slit. So with that we can confirm that in water, always with waves, we can obtain a fringe pattern like this. Whereas in this also we are obtaining not like this. We are obtaining the pattern as in water, as with particles. If we closely observe, the pattern formed with particles and the pattern formed with waves both are same, unfortunately. With this, scientists has got shocked. Why this happens? Because when particles are passed, it should produce only two lines. When waves are passed, it will form interference pattern, like in water. But in double slit also, it is producing a pattern like in water. Seeing all this, scientists got confused and they want to predict or see what is happening inside or outside when light is passed that slit. So they kept a detector for measuring that what happens when light is passed in that. Because when coming, it is coming as particles. When it's reflecting on that screen, it is reflecting as waves. So scientists want to know about that. So they kept a detector for measuring. After keeping the detector and measuring, scientists got shocked because the measurements that made before that in double slit is producing as same as particles. It is producing in double only two lines. When detector is removed, it is again producing a pattern in fringe like pattern. So scientists got shocked. When detector is keeping, it is like its scenario, like it is observing like waves or particles in quantum level is observing the detector. So it is again projecting like itself as particles and making as itself of particles on the screen. And when the detector is removed, it is producing as waves pattern on that screen when tennis balls are produced. In quantum levels, all the theories will be failed. So we have to think in another way for this wave and particle nature of light. There are some theories which can explain why this behavior of light as wave as well as particle. So before discussing that theories, we will understand why this in quantum level it is like light behaving as wave as well as particle. So many scientists proposed their own theories, like Albert Einstein supported light is particles and De Broglie proposed that light is made up of waves. So all these are okay. Now let us understand light is whether wave or a particle. When you take a coin, when it is flipping around back and forth, if I ask that whether that coin is in head position or in tail position, you will definitely not answer because the tail is in both the conditions. It is in tail position, it is in as well as in head position. So it is at rest, we can able to observe whether it is in head or tail. In the atom also same scenario. When the atom is revolving around the nucleus, so we cannot able to observe whether it is in a stable position, particle position or in a wave position. We can able to observe when it is moving in a wave. If we stop that, and we can able to observe in a particle form. Some of the scientists disagree with this also. Some proposed. So scientists like Robert Edward Grant says that it is based on all viewers' opinion, or we can say viewers' perspective. Suppose looking particle is localized in space and time, a non-looking particle when detector is not kept, it is behaving as a wave. Basically, by seeing things, it is always moving in waves form. If we observe in quantum level, by particularly seeing at some position, it is behaving as an atom or a particle. And finally, we can say that light can travel as well as particle as well as wave. And it also depends on the viewer perspective in which we are observing at a single point. If you not observe it, it will be a wave. If we observe, it is a particle. So this is known as wave particle duality.